If your computer's running slow, be sure to check out my website, remotetechassistance.com. Be sure to check out my free 7 simple secrets to make your computer run faster. In addition, if your monitor has dead pixels, be sure to check out my free pixel tester as well. You must have Microsoft PowerPoint installed in order to run it. How's it going, everybody? Today I'm going to show you how to install Ubuntu using the dual boot feature. Normally, when it comes to installing Ubuntu, you will probably just want to fresh install it or put it in a virtual machine like I showed you in the previous videos. But here I'm going to show you how to do it with a dual boot if you already have Windows installed. This is far more advanced than putting it in VirtualBox, but I will still show you how to do so. As you saw in my previous video, I showed you how to install and download Ubuntu 20.04 LTS, which is long-term support. Please refer to that video for downloading the ISO. But there's another addition into doing the dual boot setup. And that additional step is installing Rufus. You'll want to go to rufus.ie. And this is what makes the thumb drive bootable, or CD drive if you're old school. So you'll want to scroll down here and click on Rufus 3.17. Then we will want to click on it. Now we will want to plug the thumb drive in. The thumb drive should be at least 8 gigabytes or more for this procedure. So now we can open Rufus, allow the app to make changes to the device, and you'll see right off the bat that it automatically detected the thumb drive, which is a 16 gigabyte. Make sure this is selected on disk or ISO image. Then we'll want to click select. And then we will want to click on Ubuntu. It'll automatically populate the volume label, the file system and cluster size. You don't want to touch any of that. And then we can click start. Now, when you do this for Linux, it'll ask you this question. But then we will want to write an ISO image, which is strongly recommended no matter what. Now it's checking for anything that's conflicting. And we will want to continue with this operation, just a fair warning. Make sure you have everything taken off the thumb drive. Now, when I did this for the first time, it asked me if I wanted to download some files that are specifically Linux related in order to make the USB bootable. You definitely want to download those files. This process does take time, so don't worry about it if it does. Okay, that did take a while, but now that the thumb drive is ready, we can restart the computer and boot into it. Now, for the remainder of this video, I'm going to do everything on camera. So now we will want to restart the computer and go into the BIOS. I'm hitting the delete key repeatedly. So now we're in the BIOS. This is an Asus X570E Strix motherboard, but this specific BIOS will apply to any Asus motherboard, and what we'll need to do probably applies to any kind of motherboard. So we'll want to click on boot. Then we will want to go down here to boot override. This will probably be different, but you just got to make sure you go to the UEFI thumb drive, the 16 gigabyte thumb drive in this case. Click on it. Then we will want to select Ubuntu. Here's something interesting. If you have a dual monitor setup, it'll by default duplicate on the other screen as well. Okay, so same process as before when installing Ubuntu. English, continue. Normal installation, and of course download updates while installing, continue. Now, the only difference with doing it inside of a dual boot is you'll have this option, install Ubuntu alongside Windows Boot Manager. So the Windows operating system will be kept intact, but by default, you will want to choose which operating system to boot to every time you start the computer up. So we'll click continue. Now here comes the fun part. If you have multiple hard drives, you can select which drive you want. By default, it chooses my solid state drive, but apparently if you have a bigger hard drive than your operating system drive, you can do that as well. Here's something else cool. You can even resize it by dragging the space in between the two boxes. But then again, Linux does not use that much storage, so I'm just going to reduce this down to, I guess I can reduce it down to 200 gigabytes. Then we'll want to click install now. You don't even have to worry about shrinking the partition of your optical drive or hard drive. It just automatically does it for you. But then again, same procedure, Los Angeles time. Continue. Again, same process as before. Log in automatically. Now the benefit of doing this rather than doing it inside of a VirtualBox virtual machine is you can use all of the resources your host machine has. So in this case, I have a Ryzen 9 3900X and 64 gigabytes of DDR4 memory. Again, Linux doesn't use that many resources, so probably won't need to use the whole factor. Okay, so the installation is complete. Now we can click on Restart Now. And similar to what we did in the virtual machine, we will want to remove the installation medium, which is in this case the thumb drive. So I'm going to eject that. Now I will want to click on Enter. So from now on, when you have Windows and Ubuntu installed, it's going to give you an option of whether to boot to either Windows or Linux, as you will see right here. So if you wanted to boot into Windows, you would select Boot Manager, but we will want to select Ubuntu. Next, 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 and then done. And that about does it. You have officially installed Ubuntu on a dual boot operating system.
Please be sure to subscribe, like this video, and watch all of my other recommended videos as well.